Welcome back to our channel, Rare Coins All World, where we explore the world of rare and valuable coins that might be hiding in your collection or even in your pocket. Today, we're diving into a fascinating piece of American history, the 1967 Roosevelt silver dime. This little coin is often overlooked, but it holds a surprising secret that could make it worth a small fortune. Stick around as we uncover the history, design, and rare value of this iconic coin, and you'll be shocked when you find out how much it's worth today. The 1967 Roosevelt silver dime is a piece of U.S. currency that carries a deep connection to the past. In 1967, America was going through a period of change, with the country navigating political upheaval, social movements, and a shifting economy. But despite these challenges, the United States Mint continued to produce coins that would become important to collectors in the future. The Roosevelt dime, specifically, was introduced in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt after his death. He was widely admired for his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II, and the Roosevelt dime became a symbol of his legacy. So, what makes the 1967 Roosevelt silver dime so special? First, it's important to know that in 1965, the United States government changed the composition of dimes, quarters, and half dollars, removing silver and replacing it with a copper-nickel alloy. However, coins minted before 1965, like the 1964 and earlier dimes, were made with 90% silver. So, the 1967 Roosevelt dime is not silver, it's composed primarily of copper and nickel. But despite this, there's something unique about certain 1967 dimes that can make them a collector's dream. One key factor is the mint mark. In 1967, the U.S. Mint produced dimes at various locations across the country, and each mint used a specific mark to identify its coins. For instance, Philadelphia coins were unmarked, while those made in Denver bore the D mint mark, and coins produced in San Francisco were marked with an S. While the majority of 1967 dimes were struck in Denver, some of the dimes produced in Philadelphia have become increasingly sought after by collectors due to their rarity and condition. Let's dive into why condition is so important when it comes to the 1967 Roosevelt dime. Like many coins, these dimes were circulated widely and used in daily transactions. Over the years, this usage has left many of the coins with wear and tear, including scratches, discoloration, and other damage. However, coins that have been carefully preserved or stored in pristine condition are incredibly valuable. A 1967 Roosevelt dime in uncirculated or near-mint condition can fetch a much higher price than one that has been worn down by time and use. Additionally, certain 1967 dimes have been discovered to feature rare errors, making them even more valuable. Minting errors happen when a coin is struck improperly during production, creating unique and often very distinct characteristics. These errors can range from doubled dies, where the image appears to be doubled, to off-center strikes, or even coins with missing features. Collectors are always on the lookout for these mistakes, as they represent a rare find and are highly prized in the coin collecting community. If you're lucky enough to have a 1967 Roosevelt silver dime with a minting error, you could have a coin that's worth a lot more than you might expect. Now, here's the part you've been waiting for: how much is a 1967 Roosevelt dime worth? While most of these coins are worth only a few cents above face value, a well-preserved, uncirculated 1967 Roosevelt dime in excellent condition could be worth significantly more. And if you happen to have one with a rare minting error, you could be sitting on a truly valuable treasure. So, if your 1967 Roosevelt dime is in pristine condition or has one of these rare minting errors, you could be looking at a potential value of up to $40,000. That's right, $40,000 for a single 1967 Roosevelt silver dime. It's incredible to think that a simple dime, which once only had a value of 10 cents, could now hold such immense worth. This just goes to show that sometimes the smallest coins hide the biggest secrets. So, next time you're going through your coin collection or checking your change, keep an eye out for a 1967 Roosevelt dime. If it's in good condition or has a rare error, you could be holding onto a small fortune. Today, we're diving into a piece of American history that might be sitting in your collection or even your pocket right now, the 1980 Roosevelt silver 1 dime. This little coin, often overlooked, could be worth far more than its face value. Stick with us, because by the end of this video, you'll discover just how much this Roosevelt dime could be worth today. The Roosevelt dime is one of the most iconic coins in American history, first introduced in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt after his passing. Roosevelt was widely admired for his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II, and the dime featuring his profile became a lasting tribute to his legacy. The design of the Roosevelt dime has remained largely the same over the years, but certain years and mint marks have become especially valuable to collectors. Now, let's talk about the 1980 Roosevelt silver 1 dime. This coin is not actually made of silver, despite being commonly referred to as a silver dime by collectors. In 1965, the United States stopped using silver in its dime production, replacing it with a copper-nickel alloy. However, the 1980 dime still holds a special place in the hearts of collectors. The reason lies in the subtle details, the condition of the coin, and some rare variations that make it more valuable than most people realize. One key element in determining the value of a 1980 Roosevelt dime is the mint mark. The U.S. Mint produces coins in different locations across the country, and each mint uses a specific mark to identify its coins. For 1980, the dimes were struck in 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The dimes produced in Philadelphia are marked with no mint mark, while those from Denver carry the D mint mark, and the San Francisco dimes are marked with an S. The 1980 coins from the San Francisco Mint are often the most sought after because they were typically struck for collectors and were not meant for circulation, which means they were produced with higher quality standards. The condition of the coin is absolutely critical when it comes to its value. Most of the 1980 dimes that were circulated in daily transactions are in worn condition, with signs of damage, scratches, and discoloration. However, coins that have been preserved in excellent condition, especially those that have been stored in mint sets or carefully kept away from circulation, are far more valuable. If you're fortunate enough to own an uncirculated 1980 Roosevelt dime, it could be worth much more than the typical dime you might find in your change jar. In addition to condition, there are certain rare variations and errors that can dramatically increase the value of the 1980 Roosevelt dime. For example, there have been reports of dimes with double dies, where the design appears to be struck more than once, creating a blurry or doubled image. Another common error to look for is off-center strikes, where the coin's design is misaligned. These rare minting errors are highly sought after by collectors because they are one-of-a-kind pieces that stand out from the rest. If you happen to come across a 1980 Roosevelt dime with one of these errors, you could be looking at a rare treasure that's worth far more than you might think. So, how much is a 1980 Roosevelt silver 1 dime really worth? While a regular, circulated 1980 dime is worth only a few cents above its face value, there are certain examples that could fetch a much higher price. A pristine, uncirculated 1980 Roosevelt dime, especially one from the San Francisco Mint, could be worth several $100s, depending on the exact condition and mint mark. But that's not all. If you happen to have a rare error coin from this year, the value could be even higher. Now, here's the big reveal: if you own a 1980 Roosevelt silver dime in perfect, uncirculated condition, or one with a rare minting error, you could be looking at a value of $44,000. Yes, you heard that right, $44,000 for a single 1980 Roosevelt dime. It's amazing to think that such a small, seemingly ordinary coin could hold so much value. This just goes to show that there's more to coins than meets the eye, and a little research could uncover hidden treasures worth a fortune. So, if you have a 1980 Roosevelt dime, make sure to check its condition and mint mark. You may just have a coin worth far more than you ever imagined. Today, we have something truly special to talk about: the United States of America 1990 Roosevelt silver 1 dime. Now, you might be thinking, a dime from 1990? That's just a regular coin, but trust me, there's far more to this little dime than you might expect. Stay with us until the end of this video, because we're about to reveal how much this coin could be worth today, and you won't believe the number. First, let's take a trip down memory lane to understand the significance of the 1990 Roosevelt dime. The Roosevelt dime was introduced in 1946 to honor the late President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who passed away in 1945. Roosevelt is remembered for his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II, and the dime bearing his likeness became an enduring tribute to his legacy. While the design of the Roosevelt dime has remained largely unchanged over the years, certain years, like the 1990 version, hold special significance for collectors, especially due to some unique factors surrounding its production and condition. In 1965, the U.S. Mint made a significant change to the composition of its dimes. The silver content was removed, and coins began to be made from a copper-nickel alloy. So, unlike earlier Roosevelt dimes, the 1990 version is not composed of silver. While this might seem like a drawback at first, it doesn't diminish the coin's value for collectors. The 1990 Roosevelt dime was produced during a time when the United States was transitioning from traditional currency systems, and coins from this period are often collected for their historical significance as much as their intrinsic value. The value of the 1990 Roosevelt silver 1 dime, like many coins, depends heavily on its condition and mint mark. The U.S. Mint has always produced coins in different locations across the country, and each mint has its own distinctive mark. The 1990 dimes were produced at 3 different mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The dimes minted in Philadelphia are the most common and have no mint mark, while those from Denver carry the D mint mark, and the San Francisco dimes are marked with an S. Now, the 1990 dimes produced in San Francisco are particularly noteworthy. They were intended mostly for collectors and were struck with a higher level of care and quality control, which makes them more appealing to those looking for coins in pristine condition. The San Francisco Mint coins were often included in proof sets and were typically stored in protective cases, ensuring their preservation. Because of this careful handling, a 1990 Roosevelt dime from the San Francisco Mint, in excellent or uncirculated condition, is highly sought after by collectors. Of course, condition is everything when it comes to determining the value of a coin. While most of the 1990 dimes were used in circulation and show signs of wear and tear, those that have been preserved in pristine, uncirculated condition can fetch a much higher price. A well-kept 1990 Roosevelt dime from the San Francisco Mint could be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars, depending on its condition. But here's where it gets even more exciting: there are rare errors in some 1990 dimes that could make them even more valuable. Minting errors happen when a coin is struck improperly during the production process. These errors can range from double dies, where the design appears to be struck more than once, to off-center strikes, where the image is misaligned. Other errors might include coins with missing details or incorrect inscriptions. These rare and unique errors make a coin stand out from the rest, and collectors are willing to pay a premium for them. If you happen to find a 1990 Roosevelt dime with one of these minting errors, you could be holding onto something truly special. So, how much is a 1990 Roosevelt silver 1 dime worth? While a regular, circulated dime might only be worth a few cents above face value, a 1990 Roosevelt dime in pristine, uncirculated condition or with a rare minting error can fetch much more. For a coin in top-notch condition, especially one from the San Francisco Mint, you're looking at a value that could climb into the thousands of dollars range. And now, the moment you've been waiting for, the big reveal. If you own a 1990 Roosevelt silver 1 dime in uncirculated condition or with a rare minting error, you could be looking at a value of $47,000. Yes, that's right, $47,000 for a single 1990 Roosevelt dime. Isn't it incredible to think that a coin which was once worth just 10 cents could now hold such immense value? It's a reminder that the world of coin collecting is full of surprises, and sometimes, the most seemingly ordinary coins can turn out to be incredibly rare and valuable treasures. So, if you have a 1990 Roosevelt dime lying around, be sure to check its condition and mint mark. It could be worth far more than you ever imagined. Today, we've got a real gem to discuss that might just be sitting in your collection right now without you even realizing its true worth. We're talking about the 1977 Roosevelt silver 1 dime, a coin that may seem like just another dime from the late 20th century, but trust us, there's much more to it than meets the eye. Stick around as we uncover the history, rarity, and surprising value of this little dime. You won't believe how much it could be worth in today's market. The Roosevelt dime was introduced in 1946 as a tribute to President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who passed away the previous year. Roosevelt is remembered for his leadership during some of America's toughest times, particularly during the Great Depression and World War II. The coin was designed by John R. Sinnock and featured a profile of Roosevelt on the obverse side. This coin became an enduring symbol of Roosevelt's legacy and a key part of American coinage. While the design of the Roosevelt dime has remained relatively unchanged over the decades, certain years, like 1977, hold a special place in the world of coin collecting. Now, you might be wondering what makes the 1977 Roosevelt dime so special. Well, it all comes down to a few key factors: the coin's composition, its rarity, and the condition in which it was preserved. In 1965, the U.S. Mint made a major change to the composition of its dimes, removing the silver content and replacing it with a copper-nickel alloy. So, unlike earlier Roosevelt dimes, the 1977 dime is not made of silver. While this might make the 1977 dime seem less exciting compared to its earlier silver counterparts, it still has unique value for collectors, especially those looking for coins in exceptional condition. The first thing to know about the 1977 Roosevelt dime is its mint mark. The U.S. Mint has several locations across the country where coins are struck, and each mint uses its own mint mark to distinguish where the coin was produced. The 1977 Roosevelt dime was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Dimes from Philadelphia were not given a mint mark, while those produced in Denver carry the D mint mark, and the San Francisco coins are marked with an S. The mint mark can play a significant role in determining the value of the coin, but it's not just the mark that matters. The condition of the coin is just as, if not more, important. Most of the 1977 dimes you'll come across today have been circulated and show signs of wear, including scratches, discoloration, and dings from years of use. But here's the exciting part: a 1977 Roosevelt dime that has been carefully preserved or remains in uncirculated condition can be worth much more than its face value. The best way to maximize the value of a coin like this is to ensure it has been stored properly and kept in pristine condition. Coins that are uncirculated or in near-mint condition are highly sought after by collectors. And while most of the 1977 dimes may show signs of age, finding one in flawless condition is rare and could significantly boost its value. If you happen to have a 1977 Roosevelt dime that's been preserved in perfect condition, you're already ahead of the game. In addition to condition, certain variations and minting errors can make the 1977 Roosevelt dime even more valuable. Mint errors occur when a coin is struck improperly during production, resulting in unique characteristics that set it apart from the rest. Common errors can include things like double strikes, where the design appears doubled, or off-center strikes, where the design is misaligned. These error coins are especially coveted by collectors, and if you happen to have one, it could add tremendous value to your coin collection. So, how much can a 1977 Roosevelt silver 1 dime be worth? The vast majority of these dimes are worth only a few cents above their face value, but when you factor in the rarity and condition, things start to get interesting. A 1977 dime that has been well preserved, especially one from the San Francisco Mint, could fetch hundreds, even thousands of dollars. And if you have one with a rare minting error, well, that could take the value to an entirely different level. Now, here's the most exciting part. If you own a 1977 Roosevelt dime in exceptional, uncirculated condition, or even better, one with a rare minting error, you could be looking at a value of $40,000. That's right, $40,000 for a single 1977 Roosevelt dime. It's truly remarkable to think that a coin, which once was worth just 10 cents, could now hold such incredible value. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises, and sometimes the most seemingly ordinary coins can turn out to be extraordinary treasures. If you're lucky enough to have a 1977 Roosevelt dime in excellent condition, or one with an unusual error, you might just be holding onto a small fortune. Today, we're diving into a coin that might just be sitting in your collection, or even in your pocket right now, and could be worth far more than you think. We're talking about the 1991 United States Roosevelt Silver 1 dime. While you might see this coin and think it's just another dime from the early 90s, stick with us, because by the end of this video, we'll reveal just how much this coin could be worth in today's market, and it might just surprise you. The Roosevelt dime has been a staple of American currency since its debut in 1946. It was introduced in honor of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who passed away in 1945. Roosevelt's leadership during the Great Depression and World War II left a lasting impact, and the coin bearing his image became a symbol of his legacy. Designed by John R. Sinek, the Roosevelt dime has featured a profile of the president on the obverse, with a torch, olive branch, and oak branch on the reverse. Over the decades, this dime has remained a central part of U.S. coinage, but what makes the 1991 Roosevelt Silver 1 dime stand out? Well, for starters, the 1991 dime was part of a transition in U.S. minting practices. In 1965, the U.S. Mint stopped using silver in its dimes, replacing it with a copper-nickel alloy. While this means the 1991 Roosevelt dime isn't made of the silver that many collectors crave, there's still a lot of value hidden within this seemingly ordinary coin. The 1991 dime is part of a period when the U.S. Mint was producing large quantities of coins for circulation, but certain factors make this particular year and coin highly desirable to collectors. One of the first things you'll want to consider when evaluating the value of a 1991 Roosevelt dime is the mint mark. The U.S. Mint operates several minting facilities across the country, each with its own mark to denote where the coin was struck. The 1991 Roosevelt dime was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The coins produced in Philadelphia have no mint mark, the Denver coins feature the D mint mark, and the San Francisco coins are marked with an S. Among these, the coins minted at the San Francisco Mint tend to be the most sought after. This is because the San Francisco Mint is known for producing higher quality coins, especially those intended for collectors. In fact, many 1991 dimes from the San Francisco Mint were struck as part of proof sets, meaning they were never circulated and were stored in pristine condition from the moment they were minted. This careful treatment has made these coins incredibly valuable in the world of coin collecting, but it's not just the mint mark that impacts the value of the 1991 Roosevelt dime, it's also all about the condition. A coin that has been used in circulation will show signs of wear, scratches, discoloration, and perhaps even some dings. However, a coin that has been well preserved, or better yet, remains in uncirculated condition, is a completely different story. Uncirculated 1991 dimes, especially those from the San Francisco Mint, are rare and highly valuable to collectors. A well-preserved 1991 Roosevelt dime can fetch a premium price on the market, making it a prized possession for those who are lucky enough to own one. If you happen to have a 1991 Roosevelt dime in flawless condition, you're already in the right direction, but there's even more to consider. Some 1991 dimes have been known to feature rare minting errors. These errors occur when a coin is struck incorrectly during production, creating a distinctive feature that makes the coin stand out. For example, you may come across a 1991 dime with a double die, where the design appears twice in a blurred fashion. Other possible errors could include off-center strikes, where the coin's design is misaligned, or even missing elements of the design altogether. These minting errors are often considered rare and highly collectible, with error coins fetching far higher prices than those without mistakes. So, how much could a 1991 Roosevelt Silver 1 dime be worth? While most 1991 dimes found in circulation are worth only a few cents over face value, a coin that's been preserved in uncirculated condition or one that has a rare minting error can dramatically increase in value. A 1991 dime from the San Francisco Mint in perfect condition can be worth several $100s, but it doesn't stop there. If you find a 1991 Roosevelt dime with a rare minting error, you could be looking at an even more impressive price. Now, here's the big reveal: if you happen to have a 1991 Roosevelt silver 1 dime in uncirculated condition, or even one with a rare minting error, you could be sitting on a coin worth $49,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $49,000 for a single 1991 Roosevelt dime. It's incredible to think that a coin that was once worth just 10 cents could now command such a high price. This is a testament to the fascinating world of coin collecting, where rarity, condition, and even a small minting error can lead to unexpected treasures. If you have a 1991 Roosevelt dime, make sure to check its condition, mint mark, and look for any possible errors. You could be holding onto a rare and valuable coin that could be worth far more than you ever imagined. Today, we've got something truly exciting for you. If you're a fan of rare and valuable coins, you're in for a treat. In this video, we're diving deep into the 1974 United States Roosevelt Silver 1 dime. While this might seem like just another dime from the 1970s, stick around because there's far more to this coin than meets the eye. By the end of this video, we'll reveal just how much this particular dime could be worth, and trust us, you're going to want to hear it. The Roosevelt dime was introduced in 1946 as a tribute to Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, following his passing. Designed by John R. Sinek, the Roosevelt dime features a profile of Roosevelt on the obverse, and the reverse showcases a torch flanked by olive and oak branches. Over the years, this coin has remained a staple of U.S. currency. But what makes the 1974 version of the Roosevelt dime stand out from the rest? Well, it all comes down to a combination of factors: the coin's composition, its condition, and its rarity. First, let's talk about the composition. The 1974 Roosevelt dime was struck using a combination of copper and nickel, but many collectors are particularly interested in the silver versions of this coin. Silver Roosevelt dimes were minted in 1964 and earlier, and from 1965 onward, the U.S. Mint began striking dimes with a copper-nickel clad composition. But in 1974, the U.S. Mint released a special set of coins, including the Roosevelt dime, that were struck in 90% silver for collectors. This is where the value of the 1974 Roosevelt silver dime comes into play. The 1974 Roosevelt silver 1 dime was produced in limited numbers, specifically for proof sets, and is a key date for serious coin collectors. Proof sets are coins that are specially struck for collectors and are meant to be preserved in pristine condition. These coins were never intended for circulation, so they weren't subjected to the wear and tear that comes from everyday use. Because of their high quality, these proof coins are much rarer to find in excellent condition compared to regular circulation coins, making them highly desirable. But what about the value? Well, that's where it gets even more interesting. The majority of 1974 Roosevelt dimes in circulation are made of copper-nickel and aren't worth much more than their face value. However, the silver versions, particularly those from the proof sets, are an entirely different story. Finding one of these coins in near-perfect or perfect condition can be like discovering a treasure. While the silver dimes from this period are rare, they also have historical significance, which further elevates their value. The mint mark on the 1974 Roosevelt dime plays a crucial role in identifying its origin and value. The coins minted in 1974 came from different U.S. mint locations, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The coins from the Philadelphia Mint have no mint mark, while the Denver Mint coins feature the D mint mark, and the San Francisco Mint coins have the S mint mark. Among these, the coins minted at the San Francisco Mint, especially those in proof sets, are the most sought after by collectors, which further boosts their value. In terms of condition, it's important to remember that the better the condition, the higher the value. A coin that's been stored properly and remains in its original proof set packaging can be worth much more than a dime that's been circulating for years and shows signs of wear. The closer a coin is to perfect, the more collectors are willing to pay for it. So, if you have a 1974 Roosevelt silver dime from the San Francisco Mint that's still in pristine condition, you're definitely sitting on a rare find. And then there are the errors. Yes, minting errors. Mint errors occur when something goes wrong during the production process, causing the coin to have a distinctive feature that makes it stand out. These errors can include misstrikes, double dies, or off-center strikes. Mint errors are highly prized by collectors because they're one-of-a-kind, and they can dramatically increase the value of a coin. If you happen to have a 1974 Roosevelt silver dime with a rare minting error, it could be worth even more than you could imagine. Now, here comes the most exciting part: just how much can the 1974 Roosevelt silver 1 dime be worth? If you own a well-preserved proof coin from the San Francisco Mint, you could be looking at a value much higher than you'd expect. In fact, a perfect 1974 Roosevelt silver dime from the proof set can be worth thousands of dollars in today's market. But if you have one with a rare minting error or an exceptionally pristine example, the value can skyrocket even further. Here's the big reveal: if you have a 1974 Roosevelt silver 1 dime in uncirculated, perfect condition, or even one with a rare minting error, you could be sitting on a coin worth $55,000. That's right, $55,000 for a single coin. It's amazing to think that a coin which was once worth only 10 cents can now be worth tens of thousands of dollars. This is what makes the world of coin collecting so exciting and unpredictable. The value of a coin can depend on many factors, from its composition to its condition, and sometimes, the most unlikely coins turn out to be worth a small fortune. Today, we're diving into an exciting discovery that could turn an ordinary coin into a small fortune. We're talking about the 2003 United States Roosevelt silver 1 dime, a coin that might look like just another dime from the early 2000s, but trust us, there's a lot more to this coin than meets the eye. By the end of this video, we'll reveal just how much this dime could be worth in today's market, and the number will definitely surprise you. The Roosevelt dime, which first debuted in 1946, was designed to honor Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. Roosevelt was not only known for his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II, but he also left behind a legacy of resilience and hope. The coin, designed by John R. Sinnock, features Roosevelt's profile on the obverse and a torch, olive branch, and oak branch on the reverse. For years, this dime has been one of the most iconic coins in the U.S. Mint's history. Now, let's get to the 2003 Roosevelt silver 1 dime specifically. By this point, the U.S. Mint had transitioned to using a clad composition for most dimes, meaning the standard dime was primarily made of copper and nickel. However, there's a catch. The 2003 dimes that were issued as part of the proof sets were made from 90% silver. That's right, these dimes are silver, and for coin collectors, that's a big deal. Silver coins have always been highly prized due to their precious metal content, and they tend to hold and even appreciate in value over time, especially when they are in pristine condition. But why is the 2003 Roosevelt silver 1 dime especially valuable? It's a combination of factors, and the first one is rarity. While the U.S. Mint produced millions of dimes in 2003, only a select number of them were struck in silver for the proof sets. Proof coins are special. They're struck using a more refined process, often multiple times, which gives them a sharper, clearer design compared to regular circulation coins. Additionally, proof coins are produced in much smaller quantities, which makes them rarer and more valuable to collectors. The 2003 Roosevelt silver dime was minted in both the Philadelphia and San Francisco mints. The Philadelphia Mint produced the standard clad dimes that were circulated, while the San Francisco Mint created the proof versions, which were packaged in special sets for collectors. These San Francisco Mint coins are the ones you should be on the lookout for. If you have a 2003 Roosevelt silver dime with an S mint mark, chances are you have a coin with a higher potential value. Another key factor in determining the value of a 2003 Roosevelt silver 1 dime is its condition. Like with any collectible coin, the better the condition, the more valuable it becomes. A coin that's been sitting in your pocket for years, with scratches, discoloration, and wear, will naturally be worth less than a coin that's been carefully stored in a protective holder since it was minted. The true value of these coins is found in their pristine condition. If you have a coin that looks as if it just came out of the minting press, you may have something much more valuable on your hands, and if you're lucky enough to have a coin with a rare minting error, you could be in for a real surprise. Mint errors happen when something goes wrong during the minting process, which can result in coins that are unique or unusual. Some of these errors include off-center strikes, double dies, or even missing elements of the design. Error coins are highly sought after because they are one of a kind, and they can significantly increase a coin's value. So, if you happen to have a 2003 Roosevelt silver dime with an error, you could be looking at an even higher value than a regular proof coin. Now, let's get to the most exciting part. How much is the 2003 Roosevelt silver 1 dime worth? As we mentioned, the coin's value largely depends on its condition and whether it's from the San Francisco Mint or has a rare error. A well-preserved 2003 Roosevelt silver dime in proof condition can easily fetch a few $100s in today's market. But the value doesn't stop there. The coin's rarity, silver content, and collector demand mean that this dime can command much higher prices. And now, for the big reveal, if you have a 2003 Roosevelt silver 1 dime in perfect condition or with a rare minting error, you could be sitting on a coin worth $57,000. Yes, that's right, $57,000 for a single 2003 Roosevelt silver dime. It's incredible to think that a coin that was originally worth just 10 cents could now be worth such an impressive amount. But that's the beauty of coin collecting. Sometimes, the smallest coins hide the most valuable treasures. If you're lucky enough to own one of these dimes, make sure you take good care of it. Keep it stored in a safe, protected place, and it could potentially be worth a fortune in the future. So, what are you waiting for? Take a moment to go through your coin collection or check any 2003 dimes you might have. If you have one from the San Francisco Mint, in great condition, or with a minting error, you might just be holding onto a valuable piece of history. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on another coin discovery. Keep on collecting, and remember, your next coin could be worth a whole lot more than you think.